Welcome back, everybody, to Dark Souls. This is my favorite Souls series. It's got a special place in my heart. Like I said, Dark Souls 3 is my first Souls game and my intro to, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, Sekiro, Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Lies of P, Hollow Knight, like all of it. Dark Souls 3 was my first one. So, I'm very, 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 very excited to share with you guys the Dark Souls franchise. If you've played Dark Souls before, welcome. I hope you come enjoy. I hope you can get something from watching somebody else play one of your favorite games. If you've never played the series, I'm hoping to explain a lot of the different secrets, the bosses, the lore, the series, my favorite stuff, least favorite stuff. It's going to be a long journey together. We got 3 games to get through. We got Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3. The plus is I know all of these games like the back of my hand. I know every secret, nook, cranny, pretty much. I've platinumed 2 of the 3 games. The third one, Dark Souls 1, I'm at 91% trophies, and the only thing I haven't done is farmed Covenant items. That's really it. So I know the games very well. I've beaten every single boss and every single game. I love these games so much. I love Bloodborne 2 was great too, and that's one of my favorite Souls games, and that was a really, really fun one to show you guys and to play through. So I'm very excited for this one. This game's kind of just like a chill, fun, nostalgic. I mean, none of these games are chill, but you're gonna see there's a dip in the quality of the bosses, like from Bloodborne. You're gonna see like a lot of it. It's very clunky, very basic, an old game. It just feels very ancient and old, but this is the foundation. Demon Souls was the start of it, but this is the first Dark Souls, the foundation for a lot of it. And I'm just so excited to share it with you guys. Like this, all of the Souls community lingo and memes and everything comes from this game. So with that, let's get into it. I'm just so excited. Okay, so I'm far from a newbie. This is not my first playthrough of this game. I know everything. So it's not like one of those streams where it's like a new player playing through a game for the first time. I literally know everything. I've got all the armor, all the great stuff, everything cool, just like Bloodborne. So normally you would start here with nothing, essentially, if it's the first time ever playing the game. You're in a cell. These messages are for online. You only see these if you play online. And then you unlock the cell, and your journey begins. You usually have nothing, maybe like a basic sword or something. I obviously have the Black Knight set here. Black Knight Great Sword +5, and the Crest Shield. My Estus is pretty much maxed out. I've got all the items. For me, this is New Game plus, I think. So Bloodborne, I was just doing plus. This is plus for Dark Souls. This is the tutorial. These are like the peon enemies that you start with. If you look to your right, that's the first boss, the Asylum demon. It's kind of cool that you can kind of see him there. He's not a real boss, really. There's like a cheese or a gimmick to him. But when we come back here later, it will be a different version of the same boss. It's called the Stray Demon, and that will be the actual fight. Sorry, little fella. you guys have any questions at any point in the game, or find anything interesting or curious, or want to comment on your favorite bosses, favorite Souls experiences, literally anything, feel free to hop into the chat. Like I said, I don't have a camera yet, but I will engage with you vocally. This is the original resting place. For those of you who know the newer versions of these games and have played Elden Ring, you know what the Site of Grace is. That's where you rest, heal, reset the area, all that fun stuff. This is the OG. It's the bonfire. I call everything the bonfire in every Souls game. You probably heard me slip up. I call everything Estus. Because this is my first game. So here we can't really do much yet. We can access our storage, which I have in abundance. We can attune magic. Just so you guys know, I don't use any magic in any Dark Souls games. I do use magic in Elden Ring. I actually really like magic in Elden Ring, but I do not use it in any of the Souls games. I'm a strictly physical combat player. I usually do dual strength and dex, level them both up. Let me see these are my stats here. Sir Gregory was my character. My covenant is the Darkboon Blade +1 right now. Level 237. Vitality in this game is health and bulkiness. Attunement is for magic. That's how much basically magic you can use. Endurance is your stamina bar. And I think equip load. Yeah, equip load. Strength is how strong your weapons are if you're using something that scales with strength, and how much like if the bosses hit you, like it plays into like how much you can resist that. Dexterity is the other stat for like a lot of physical weapons. Same thing, if you level those up, it increases your physical damage resistance and like how much your weapon does. Resistance in this game is like resistance to status effects like poison. Intelligence is how strong your magic is going to be if you use magic. And faith, you could do a faith build too for magic. There are some spells that require faith. If you've played Elden Ring, it's the same. Humanity in this game is what you use to reverse your hollowing, because right now, let me see if I can take off my movement. Right now we're hollowed. That's a thing from the Dark Souls games, and then when you use your humanity, you become unhollowed, and once you're human, you can like summon helpers, and if you consume 2 humanities, you can use the extra one to level up bonfires. The more they're leveled up, the more Estus you get from them, but you don't get that capability until halfway through the game. I often play this game without any armor, actually. To be honest, I'll probably leave it off, because I don't need it, to be completely honest. The only reason I was wearing it is because I just fought the final boss right before restarting the game. And I was practicing parrying, and if I messed up a parry, I wanted to be able to negate some of the damage. So obviously having armor helps with that. But you don't need it. I don't need it, at least. Let's see, what else do I want to show you guys about this game right now? Rings. Dark Souls has rings. So in Elden Ring, the equivalent would be like what your talismans are, repentance or whatever, and they give you different buffs and boosts and different fun things. Your equipment, your weapons, your magic, key items, upgrade items. Just like in Bloodborne, this was the blood stones, blood shards, chunks, and stuff like that. field protection boosts my physical defense. Run one of these. Covetous Gold Serpent Ring boosts item discovery, and Silver Serpent, it gets you more souls. I don't really need either of those at the moment. Need it. Doesn't really matter. Okay. Try fleeing. You're right, sir. We're not gonna fight him immediately. The first boss. There's a gimmick to it. Not gonna fight him. Not traditionally. Would be like your first shield. Your first sword, different sword, broadsword, whatever you're using. Now, I'm sure most of you are familiar with the fog gate. That is usually the run back to the boss, as you were seeing in my Bloodborne stream. Every time I'd go back to a boss that I died to, there would be a fog gate. That's something throughout like all the Souls games pretty much. It's in Elden Ring as well. But in Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2, there are fog gates sometimes just to move to the next section of the area. It's not necessarily a boss all the time. So you have to kind of decipher whether it's a boss fog gate or just moving to the next area. It's kind of tricky. Dark Souls 3 gets rid of that, thankfully. But it's an interesting thing in Dark Souls 1 and 2. So like that fog gate was just like, oh, congrats, you're in the next part of the area, kind of. Still giving you a tutorial. Big thing up there they're gonna throw at us. Watch out for that. It's a shortcut back to the bonfire for the boss. Oh wait, let me try. So as I was parrying in Bloodborne, there's two things you can do with the shield. You can block, and you can parry. Oh, let me see if I can get the timing. I was notoriously very bad at parrying, as you saw in my Bloodborne thing. I was like, whoa, I've never parried in this game. I don't parry in the Souls games, but it's like the same concept. You can stun them, break their guard, and then do a stagger attack. You get the parry off. So Dark Souls was like the slot. Right back there. It's like the OG game with the shield. We're gonna find our first NPC here.
Oh, you. You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead.
So in Dark Souls, the hallowed people,
regrettably, I have failed in my
are like undead.
But perhaps you can.
It's kind of like an Elden Ring. You're called the Tarnished.
There's an old saying in my family.
It's like your origin.
Thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of
and that's why we're
lords.
locked away in an
When thou
asylum.
ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. and I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this.
If this is your first playthrough, he gives you...
Now I must bid farewell.
Well, he gives me the key there.
I hate to harm you after death.
But I think he gives you your first 5 Estus as well.
And thank you.
If this is your first playthrough.
Now I would hate to...
And then, we're gonna leave him here, but when we come back, there's gonna be an item where he was just sitting. But yeah, it gives you the key, and I'm pretty sure in your first playthrough, he gives you the first 5 Estus. Backstab in this game, just like in Bloodborne, as you were seeing, but instead of you don't need to do a charge attack to initiate the backstab. In this game, you just have to get behind them at the right spot, and then you do a regular attack. And this is a hollow soldier. So we'll show you the gimmick here for the first boss, quote unquote. You jump on its head. And that's it. Then you get the key. Sometimes they do gimmick stuff like that. There's one in Dark Souls 3 that pretty much is, there's a boss that's like, you can do the same thing there. If you choose to fight him before you go up there, you're gonna get wrecked if it's your first playthrough, so you don't fight him. Jump on his head. He's technically the first boss. And then you come up here.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
So, we're in Lordran. This is the original Firelink Shrine. This is like in Bloodborne, as we were just playing the Hunter's Dream, and Elden Ring is the Round Table Hold, and all of the Dark Souls games is the Firelink Shrine. In Dark Souls 2 specifically, it's in Majula. But yeah, the giant crow that whisks you there. It's so nostalgic for me, because I played Dark Souls 3 first, so then coming back to the original Dark Souls to learn, like, it was so fun playing this to see where it all came from. This guy's an NPC
what
too.
What do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are, at actually 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the Undead Church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blighttown.
Blighttown is
and something happened.
The worst area in this
Brilliant,
game.
right? Not much.
It is notorious for being absolutely heinous.
That won't stop you. So,
well, actually, I take that back. The Tomb of the Giants is the worst
isn't it?
area in this game, but
That is
Blighttown is a
accursed land,
close
the undead.
second. Honestly, they're both awful.
Ah, your face. You're practically hollow. But oh no. Going hollow could solve quite a bit. What? Restoring your humanity? Well, there are a few ways to go about it. Collect it bit by bit from corpses. Or you can butter up a cleric and get yourself summoned. And the quickest way, although I never do it, is to kill a healthy undead and pillage its humanity. What are you looking at? Don't try anything clever. You might regret it.
Don't worry, buddy. I'll wait till later to kill you.
What? You want to
He becomes aggressive at some point.
That's all we need. Another inquisitive soul. Well, listen carefully then. One of the bells is up above in the Undead Church, but the lift is
He gives you a lot of
broken.
helpful advice, though, at the beginning.
Climb the
Describes
stairs
to
up
you
the
a lot of
ruins
stuff.
and access the Undead Burg through the waterway. The
Dark Souls
other
is also
bell back
notoriously
down
known for
below
its
the Undead
like shortcuts
Burg.
and stuff. As you
Within
saw in
plague-infested
it's a very
Blighttown.
linear progression type of
Die
game.
again before I
Every
step
area
foot in
connects.
cesspool.
You can travel from every area to every area, but you just have to find like the shortcuts throughout the game that connect the different areas, and you can't find them until you progress
Bloody
a certain
hell,
way.
what is it now?
I like annoying
You
him.
ask too many questions.
And as I was
I'm not up for chatting.
Okay, that's the end. I'm not up for chatting. As I was telling you in the Bloodborne stream at one point is, in these Souls games, in order to progress an NPC's questline, you have to exhaust all their dialogue, so always talk to somebody until they just start repeating the same thing over and over again. That means, you've kind of done everything you can for the time being with them. Here's another guy.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Firelink.
Petrus of
Have you
Thorolund.
business with us? If not, I'd prefer to
with the
keep a
church.
distance, if possible. Hello there. I realize that I have... But I also want you to know... Here. No. Go. Oh my. Oh. I have to await. So what if I were to... Would that...
So you can get
Very well.
miracles from him.
Then first,
Miracles
a
are a type
covenant
of
with the
spell that
gods.
require faith. You can also join his covenant. If this is your first playthrough, I would say do it, because I think there's an achievement for discovering each and every covenant in the game, but I have already gotten that, and I have already joined every covenant,
That is it. Speak
so
to...
I'm just going to say no for now. There's an elevator over here at some point that's going to be a shortcut up to the Undead Burg, but we haven't unlocked it yet. Soul of the Lost Undead is something you can break to get more souls. If it's your first playthrough, I highly recommend getting those and using them so you don't have to farm as many level ups. For me, I am stupidly broken on the level up scale because I discovered a Dark Souls cheat where you can basically get infinite souls. They don't have it in the other games, but this game's like old enough that it's something with how you click really fast on the menu and you can kind of multiply your souls. So I leveled up a whole lot in one of my playthroughs. Although, to be honest, I noticed it didn't really it wasn't as significant a change as some other games. So like I was saying, Dark Souls 2 has a very significant, very clear abuse of leveling, whereas this game I felt like it just wasn't. It was kind of balanced. There is an area over here that we can go to right now. Down here, there's a graveyard, and then when you go past the graveyard, you go into this cave, and if you continue to follow that all the way down, that's where you get to said Tomb of the Giants, as I was telling you, is one of the worst areas. If this is your first playthrough, these skeletons here that are forming are going to be very stocky and very hard to kill, and they do a lot of damage. So this is technically accessible right now, but it is not where I would advise you go first. If this is your first playthrough, I made that mistake, and I just kept running into the cave and just getting slaughtered by the skeletons over and over and over and over again. So it's down here. I'm just going to grab some of the items, because I like to get items. I don't even know what they are, but I want to show you where they all are. Ow! That was weird. Kind of like glitched and didn't let me pick it up. Oh well. I don't really need the souls either, so I'm not going to go back and get them. But anyway, that down there is where you get the, you get that. Also, going this way, there's a stairwell here. And this is over here, locked in a cage. It's the very first, no response. She cannot speak. She's the firekeeper, the priest, or whatever. Every game has their own. This is the original. Well, actually, in Demon Souls, there's the Maiden in Black, so she's the original. And then this is the original firekeeper. In Dark Souls 2, it's the Emerald Herald, I think. In Dark Souls 3, it's another version of the Firekeeper. In Bloodborne, it's that doll. And in Elden Ring, it is your maiden. That's all the jokes where they're like, you're maidenless. It's Melina. So. And in Sekiro, I think her name's Emma. So we can go down here. I'm just going to show you guys. There's an elevator here. You continue going down the stairs. And this is the new Londo ruins. Again, immediately accessible, as sometimes these games will allow. But again, this is not where I recommend you going first. I mean, you can if you've played the game and you know what you're doing. But if it's your first playthrough or you're new to the game, this is not where I would originally progress. There is another NPC down here who's very important.
Well, this is unusual. You haven't lost your head. And more importantly, you're free. How on earth? Well, I shouldn't cry. I'm Ricky of Vinheim.
This is Ricker of Vinheim. He can sell you a lot of items that are useful, and he's one of the 3 smiths, or blacksmiths, in this game. So he can upgrade your weapons in very specific ways. And another way to get platinum in this game is you have to do a specific way of leveling your weapons up. You can do like enchanted weapons, magic weapons, chaos weapons, fire weapons, etc. And there's 3 different blacksmiths, and you have to go to like, oh, there's 4, actually, I lied, there's 4 blacksmiths, and you have to go to all of them to kind of like level them up, your weapons a specific way with specific items for the platinum. This guy here does the magic ones. He does magic reinforcement and enchanted reinforcement.
Have you? It's safe, although I'll show you.
So you can modify your equipment with him, you can reinforce your weapons. So modify means that what I was just talking about, doing the magic and enchanted. Reinforce is just like a basic improvement. That's how I get my weapon to +5. You can do the same with your armor. You can also repair equipment if it's like used or broken, as I showed you we did in Bloodborne. You can buy some items from him. I don't have enough souls at the moment because I fell off a cliff, but there's the heavy soul arrow and the soul arrow if you're running a magic build. These are spells. And there's the Sorcerer's Catalyst, is something you can use to do spells. I don't do spells in the Souls games.
There's nothing to talk. We're both Kurt. Goodbye then.
But that's where you can start your spell builds. And if you come over here, down here is the path down where those lights are to and advancing in this area. But there's a bunch of ghosts down there that you can't kill unless you have a specific item, and you'll die very quickly if you try. So I don't recommend it right now. We're not ready for that area yet. So, and then also, oh yeah, that's also over here, which I just unlocked because I have an item called the Master Key, which is what I chose as my first item at the start of the game. When you first start the game, you get a choice of different items, and that's what I chose for mine. There are certain doors that you wouldn't be able to unlock until you got that specific key that I can unlock early. So once again, I have access to an entirely new area. If you head down that way, it goes down to Blighttown, which they were talking about earlier. If you head down that way, it's, I forgot what it's called, like the Dragon Shrine or Dragon something area, and then it also connects to the new Londo ruins on the other side, and the forest. There's a shortcut there. I'll show you it all, but we're not going to go there now. Normally, you would not be able to unlock this yet. I'm kind of doing like a tutorial. I'm like doing I know so much about these games. There's an item back here. I'm sorry if you know everything about all of these games and I'm just boring you by showing you all of the things you already know. But I kind of want to do it just like in case there are any new players or don't know these games that tune in, especially as I get a larger audience, or try to. Don't worry, you'll get to see me schmooze through and fight the different bosses too. I'll just explain everything I'm doing and yap as I go, because there's really no other point for me to play this game right now besides the fact that I think it's very fun and I like it anyway. There's not really like a... Oh, well, I do need the boss videos for my YouTube because I don't have any for Dark Souls 1. But I platinumed it. I've beaten every boss, I've done all the things, I've gotten all the items and farmed all the cool items, and yeah, so I'm playing for your guys' benefit. So feel free to engage, ask questions, like I said, comment in the chat. Oh, shit. You heal pretty slow, but I think it's still not as bad as Dark Souls 2, which you'll see when we get there. It frustrates me to no end. That's like one of my biggest complaints with the game. But because this game is very like, I don't know how to describe it unless you like play it. It's very like, you input a command, it does the thing. There's not really much room for variety. It's not very dynamic. It's very clanky. That's how it feels anyway. So like, the game Bloodborne we just played there was a lot more dynamic. You could move around. There's a lot more like snappiness to it. When we get to Dark Souls 3, you'll see it's a lot more dynamic. Like this game is just very like input command, do thing, and it's kind of slow with it. But if you learn the timing and when to do the command and when to input the thing, then it does it right. this here that doesn't, we'll unlock that shortcut later. So this is where, as I was yapping, this is where I recommend you start. This is like the most ideal starting spot. This is gonna lead us to the Undead Burg. So the Undead Burg is what I recommend, like the beginning area. You can access the new Londo ruins. You can access the cave down there with the skeletons. I don't recommend it. And so the Asylum demon, the guy that we jumped on his head, that is like the quote-unquote first boss, but the actual first boss of the game is the boss of this area. This is not a boss fog wall again. This is just unlocking the next area. I don't know why they did this. They kind of just, I guess it just adds a little bit of grandeur. But for people who started with like Dark Souls 3 or beyond, they're like, what? This isn't a boss. Dragon! Yes, there are dragons in Dark Souls. There's quite a lot, actually. There's dragons in every single Souls game, except for Bloodborne. Did it. Sekiro, even Sekiro has a dragon. It's just an item out here, I think. Yes. Wooden shield. So, I believe over here is going... Over there where the guy's shooting at me is where you advance in this area. But there, if you go over here, there's a merchant and there's a shortcut. Break these boxes. Sneak attack over here. You go out here, there's a merchant.
Well now, you seem to have your wits about you. Hmm? Then you are a welcome customer. I trade for souls. Everything's for sale.
You can buy repair powder for your weapons, some projectiles. I don't ever use projectiles in any of the games. Lloyd's Talisman. This is a key to a specific area. I already have these, but you can buy your first repair box, which means you can repair your items at the bonfires on the go. You can also buy your first bottomless box, which I already have, which you can store items. So I recommend farming enough soul. If this is your first playthrough, farming enough souls to buy those things. Get the key would be cool to have. I forgot what it unlocks, but getting those two. You can also buy some extra weapons and shields, arrows, and the chain set equipment, which I already have.
Hey, what?
Oops. And then over here, there's a shortcut. Kick. I need to practice parrying in this game. It is so satisfying. Parries, I guess any of the games are really satisfying when you get them. And it's kind of fun to try and get the timing down. When I first played all of these games for the first time, I was purely duck and roll. Dodge, stab, dodge, stab. And I would use my shield sometimes if I needed to, but not even that much. Item here. Oh, was that it? I feel like No. Let me see. Is it double tap in this game? Yeah. You double tap the B button on PlayStation to jump. Oh, you just concussed yourself. Yeah, so you can jump down here. There's another item. Crossbow. Oh, is that really it? I swear to God over there was like a shortcut back to the somewhere, like I thought it connected to the shrine or something. Oh well. Anyway, we're gonna go over to where the people were shooting us with crossbows. Ow. And here's the bonfire. So, in Dark Souls 1, the bonfire, you rest at, you heal, it resets the area, but you cannot travel between bonfires and fast travel in this game yet. Halfway through the game, you will unlock the ability to warp between a very select few important areas. It's pretty expansive, but it's not all-encompassing. So you can fast travel to specific bonfires. But right now we don't have that capability. In Bloodborne, obviously, as you could see, we unlock the lamp, and then every lamp fast travels back to the Hunter's Dream, and then from the Hunter's Dream, you could fast travel to any of the lamps. All the other Dark Souls games, when you unlock a bonfire, you can fast travel between all of them. Dark Souls 2, you can fast travel to any of them that you unlocked. Dark Souls 3, Elden Ring, you can easily fast travel right from the map. Sekiro even too, I think you can fast travel between the shrines. But this game, you do not have that capability. So you have to learn the areas, you have to learn all the shortcuts, you have to learn how everything connects literally for the first half of the game. And even on, it becomes so important to see how the world all connects, because each area connects to every other area, and you can't fast travel yet. So if I want to go back to the Firelink shrine right now, where we started, or access a specific NPC or something back there, I have to walk my ass all the way back there. So it's a little annoying, but you really, really get to learn the world, get to know where everything is, thoroughly explore for all the items and everything. There's a lot in this game. It's pretty, I mean, it's kind of basic. This should have 20. How does this not even have 15? Am I tripping? Oh, I don't know if I can't, you know why? It's because you don't unlock the ability to upgrade a bonfire. So in the Souls games going forward, you will find an item like an Estus shard, and you will bring it back to the Firekeeper, and each one you find will increase the amount of Estus you can use. And you also will find another item to like upgrade your Estus, how much it heals you. In this game, how much Estus you have is based on which bonfire you're at. You actually have to upgrade the bonfire itself, like each individual one, to have more Estus. And you don't unlock that ability until halfway through the game. So it was my mission last playthrough to upgrade every single bonfire in this game to 20 Estus flasks. But I must have missed this one or forgotten, and because you can't upgrade them yet, and this is the one for the very first boss, after you get to the point where you can unlock it, you obviously don't need this bonfire to be 20. This is also not one that you can fast travel to, so it's kind of irrelevant at that point. But I would like to go through and have them, you know, I played this game so much, every bonfire should be 20. I have plenty of humanity for it. Okay, so this is gonna be... Wait, am I going the right way? hollow warrior helm. Don't need any more of those. Trust me. Backstab. I do like now, even in the future Souls games, so even as recent as Elden Ring Night Rain, which I played a lot of that game. I love that game. That game's like crack to me. I love abusing. I like the backstab a lot. I really like doing it in these games when possible. I learned it the very first Soul game I played. I figured out when I was fighting the Abyss Walkers over and over and over and over again, I figured out you can backstab them, and from then on, I loved backstabbing. Obviously, you just saw me do it with Orphan of Kaz, and now, there's another thing in these games I think Jendi commented on when I was playing Bloodborne and finding the chests, that it's nice that I don't have to worry about the chests. So Dark Souls 1 has famously caused some significant trust issues with people in the community. If you see people running up and smacking random chests, it's because at a certain point in this game, there are chests that when you go to open them, I don't know if anyone's seen the anime Frieren Beyond Journey's End, but it's like the classic Mimic where she like opens it and it like bites her. There's an enemy in this game where you go to open the chest and it's got teeth and then it bites you. And so a lot of people in the games, and in Dark Souls 2, there's two different types of chests. There's like a wooden one and a metal one, and the metal ones were always safe and the wooden ones were always, you'd have to check them until I can't remember if it was a DLC or like a specific point in that game. There's a metal chest that actually has teeth, and then you're like, okay, I trust nothing. I will never trust again. So, yeah, so the chests in these games, and it's like a Dark Souls thing, specifically, because these games are heinous in the most wonderful, beautiful way. So, I'll teach you a trick. If the the wood is blocking it, but if the chain on the right side is pointing away from the opening, it's safe. If the chain on the right side is pointing towards you, it is a mimic and it is an enemy. So don't open it. If it's a mimic, you have to attack it. And it will still have an item for you. You have to kill the mimic first. So there's a bit of info. So if it's towards you, bad. If it's pointed away, it's safe. Now, I remember there's one point in Dark Souls 3, I think, where they try and trick you and the chain is broken entirely, so you can't see whether it's pointed away or towards you. Like I said, these games cause a lot of trust issue. This is the key, by the way, that I bought from the merchant. This is apparently what it opens. So in that case, better safe than sorry, just attack the chest. So right here you can see it much clearly. This chain right here, like half ovular thing, if it's pointed away, you're good. Oh, you faked me out, guys. You juked me. So there's a tower here that has an item at the top, I think? No. Just a crossbowman that's shooting at you, so you can eliminate him so he doesn't shoot you in the back. So, down here, up here is the way to the boss. Now, if this is your first playthrough, if you come hot down here, just know that that is a Black Knight. They are very difficult. Like, they are probably one of the hardest, if not the hardest, like, knight enemies in this game to fight, so don't just square up on him without knowing. that's the equipment I had that I showed you, that I'm wearing, that I was wearing. It's a Black Knight armor, so I look like that guy. I'll show you. And again, I like my backstabs. And a good way to manage the damage on these enemies is to get behind them. But he's not letting me out easily. They are a bit of a challenge. Right here, backstab. He gave you a Titanite chunk, which is an upgrade item. Like a good upgrade item. And also he was guarding an item. The blue Tearstone ring, which boosts defense when HP is low. So when you're about to die or like lower HP, you have a higher damage resistance. So you don't die as easily. This guy's gonna throw a firing barrel down. Now, again, I have the master key, opens this area. Down at the bottom of this area is a very famous Dark Souls NPC called Havel the Rock, and it also connects to the, I think Forbidden Woods it's called, or whatever the forest area is. I'll show you. He's locked away in there, he's in NPC battle. He has a giant club called the, oh my god, I'm blanking. It's literally the club I use in Dark Souls 2. Oh my god, I'm just like total brain fart. It'll come to me. Dragon Tooth. He uses the Dragon Tooth, which is, it does massive damage. So don't let him hit you. There's an iteration of Havel in every Dark Souls game. There's also a skin in Elden Ring Night Rain that pays homage to the Souls games. A lot of stuff in Night Rain has like bosses from the Souls game and stuff. So that's Havel. He's got a giant tooth, the dragon's tooth. I'm gonna manage his damage by backstabbing him. He's got Havel's Great Shield, Havel's armor set. So Havel was, war-wise, was a dragon fighter. There's a whole bunch of lore, like, so the final boss in this game is Gwyn, Lord of Cinder, and there was a war against the dragons. And I'm gonna do the DLC, in this game. Yeah, Darkroot Basin. So it's the Darkroot Gardens. Darkroot Gardens is the forest area in this game. This is the Basin, so there's a cutback, but I'm not going to go down there yet because normally you wouldn't have that key, and I want to show you the game kind of in order of what you would do if it was like your first playthrough. I mean, even on your first playthrough, you can pick one of your exclusive items, the item you get to be the master key. But I just feel like, I don't know, you don't want to go to like an area that you just aren't really prepared for, or like, not, I don't know. On your first playthrough, you should kind of just go in order, or at least that's how I feel. You can do whatever you want, obviously. So, I don't know if I have enough Estus right now, but this is the first boss. boss is the Taurus demon. But I'm going to show you something right here. If you go to the other side and the Taurus demon drops down, you start to fight him, and then you start getting shot at. There are archers at the top of this tower, and there's a little hidden ladder right here behind the wall. I always climb the ladder first, because these guys will shoot you in the back when you're fighting the boss. And that makes the fight a lot harder and more annoying. So take them out every time. Climb back down the ladder. Now we're ready for the boss. This is the first boss. That was the first boss, Taurus Demon. As I said, it's going to be a vast difference in quality and difficulty than what you just saw me do in Bloodborne. I just beat that guy in, like, what, 30 seconds? And he got me down to, like, where one more hit would have killed me, but, like, a good time dodge, managing the damage that he was doing to me, healing when I can, and hitting him when I can. I kind of knew that if I dodged his last attack, I could hit him and kill him and finish it. Which is why I didn't go for healing first. But yeah, it's not like these bosses aren't going to be, like, obviously the graphics aren't incredible. They're not going to be these, like, super fast moving flashy bosses. It's a very, after, you know, coming to this game from Bloodborne, you're going to see obviously a real change in quality. Plus, I'm, like, really over leveled even for a new game plus run, and I know these bosses very well. In Bloodborne, you were just seeing me, like, you know, be anxious and trying to do what I need to do against, like, certain bosses like Orphan of Kos and Lawrence, and it's just not, like, I'm so chill right now. I could be, like, half asleep and still beating some of these bosses. So it's just going to be kind of a different, you know, some of them will be more challenging for me, like the final boss I do have to lock in on. Some of the other bosses, Dark Souls 2, there's going to be lots of bosses that I have to lock in on just because they're annoying, but not anything too pressing. Dark Souls 3 has the best bosses, and I will die on this hill. Dark Souls 3 has the best bosses in any of the Souls games, in my opinion. It just has, like, the best squad of bosses, and, like, the DLC bosses add so much to the game. It's also got some of the hardest bosses, especially for the context of the game, like being a Dark Souls game rather than Elden Ring, just the way the game is played and everything, in my opinion. But I will fight. You'll see me. I'll fight everyone for you. I'll beat everyone. Trust. Now, this is one of the most famous Dark Souls characters. You'll see lots of Dark Souls fans. There are shirts of him. There are messages throughout all of the Souls games for people who play online that say praise the sun, and they're referencing this right here. His name is Solaire. He's one of my favorite NPCs, and I see a lot of people in the community really like him.
Ah, hello. You don't look hollow, far from it. I am Solaire of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land, the birthplace of Lord Gwyn.
Lord Gwyn is the final boss.
You find that strange? Well, it should. No need to hide your reaction.
And he's also in the Warriors of Sunlight Covenant, or like the figurehead of the Warriors of Sunlight Covenant that you can find in this game.
Hello there. I will stay behind to gaze at the sun.
And he just says, I will stay back and look at the sun, pretty much.
Like
and he's like going on and on about how
If only I
awesome the
could be
sun
so
is.
grossly
Obviously, there's a big sun on his shirt. He's kind of quirky and unique, and the community
hello
really
there.
just fell in love with this guy, I think, just
to gaze at the sun. If only I...
because how much he likes the sun, and he's sitting here staring out at this beautiful picture of the sun coming through the clouds. So there's a message that people put all over in the online, like on those little messages on the ground in every Souls game going forward, saying praise the sun in specific areas. So yeah, that's the lair. We'll see him more. There's gonna be a big dragon here. It is ill-advised to progress any further on this bridge, because if you do, you're gonna trigger him. You won't. Nope. You're gonna trigger him to do that. And as you can see in the background, there is a bonfire there, so if you manage to get past his flames and get into the area, there is a bonfire, and that is actually right next to the Warriors of Sunlight monument, where you can join the Warriors of Sunlight Covenant. And back when this game was actually, relevant and popular, that was one where you could be summoned to other players' worlds to help with bosses and stuff. Oh shit, I didn't... I was too busy yapping and showing you guys the dragon that I didn't unlock the shortcut that goes right back to that bonfire that I was just at. So I have to run all the way back. Damn it. That's negligence on my part. So we have to... Damn it. So, that barrel is gone. He already threw it at us. This is back. This is the run back to the boss. But I beat him first try, so you don't have to see me doing the run back over and over again. See, you can hear them. They're shooting at me from the tower, which they would be doing if you were fighting the boss right now. Oh, that's right. I don't need this on anymore. I was just showing you. Also, another feature of Dark Souls and a lot of the Souls games. You can two-hand and one-hand. If you one-hand, it does less damage, but you can use your shield and parry and block. If you two-hand, you can still block, but you block with the weapon, and it's less effective than the shield. But this will do more damage if you two-hand it. And that has like a different... So that was my charged attack there. And if you connect with somebody with this weapon, that'll send them flying up in the air. And this is a charge attack if you're one-handed. You saw me do that earlier, and that just like sends them flying. So there's one-handed versus two-handed. Same in Elden Ring. Bloodborne is kind of unique with the weapons. There is the one-handed with when you have the gun, and then two-handed, but it's kind of like unique on how it switches between the two. So this right here is what I was talking about. Kick the ladder down, and now that's the bonfire we were just at that you can climb directly up here from. That's what I mean when I say find all the different things. Okay. I'm not gonna fuck with the dragon right now. Another strategy to getting to that bonfire up there is to get a great bow and great arrows and pick off the dragon from the bridge. You can keep shooting him with the arrows. That is an effective way to kill him. But we're gonna come across this bridge here. send this guy. Oh. Oh. I can hear footsteps of another guy, but we're gonna send him. If I can, yeah. So, oh. Send him off the cliff. There are rats here, so beware. If they bite you, they can do that poison damage. That. Okay. That's kind of annoying. They're really annoying. You notice that red bar, or purple bar when they were hitting me was the build up to the poison. Now I'm poisoned. That yellow bar that ticks down is how long I am going to be poisoned, and it does gradual damage to you. This right here is the bonfire that was under the dragon and the bridge, which you can unlock this with a lever if you get inside there. And that would be a shortcut past here. If you go up these stairs, there's going to be another Black Knight up there with an item. He's very difficult to beat because they're a tough... Oh, there's no item, but he drops something good. I'm not going to fight him right now because that Black Knight is one of the hardest ones to fight because he's in such a tiny little space. Unless he comes down. Up ahead, you see there's a giant metal boar. Oh, he did come down. Alright. I'm fine with fighting him down here. There's a little bit more room. Get a double backstab on him. Light work. Another Titanite chunk. Okay, so that boar, he will charge us and try and kill us. So I'm going to quickly run to the right here. And up the stairs. There's an item here. I think they're going to close that bridge. Nope. Oh, yep. And then you come down here. See, he's still over there trying to kill us where we were before. They come down in here. There's more of these. This is obviously an ambush. Not obviously, but for these games, that's an ambush. Suspiciously running away into a doorway. And this guy followed us from out there. These games are amazing. My Bloodborne character that you saw in the last playthrough and my Elden Ring character are both women, and when they get hit, they scream with like something. They scream, and this guy, when he gets hit, he does that weird little moaning sound. I think it's some of their vocals are pretty funny. Mystery key. I'm running out of healing here. Only have one left. This is not a boss. Down there, there's a knight guarding an item. The item is a shield. I don't really need that at the moment. And I only have one flask of Estus, and I'm close to an important bonfire, so I'm not going to go for that. There's a guy right here. There's another one of those knights that I was just pointing out. We're gonna come across this bridge. We're gonna come down these steps. Run past these guys. Come to the right here. footsteps, and we're gonna have one of the most important bonfires in my opinion, because it's at such an integral point in the early game. And connected to 3 different areas. This is one of the fires you can warp to. Ahead is Sen's Fortress. We're not there yet. That's where we go. Up there, we're gonna go back up. Is the gargoyle? There's a twin gargoyle boss, and then there's a one of the bells that the guy was talking about earlier that you ring. And down here, we have one of the 4 blacksmiths. My favorite and one of the most important one.
Well, I'm Andre.
Andre. He's going to be the blacksmith in Dark Souls 3 as well. He's one of the 4 here in this game. We met the other one, Rickert. This guy does the fire reinforcements and chaos? No, I don't know. Chaos? I'm not sure. You can learn the hurrah gesture from him if you want all the gestures. I think there might be an achievement for it. You can buy Titanite shards, which are for weapon upgrades. The Crest of Artorias, which I'm going to buy when I have enough souls, 20,000, because it unlocks a door in the next area. Weapon Smith Box, where you can reinforce your weapons at the bonfire without being next to a smith. And you can reinforce your armor with this armor Smith Box. You can also buy weapons and arrows. So I'm going to come back to this crest.
Don't get yourself killed.
So there's 2 ways we can go. We can go up there, which is where I said the gargoyles and the first bell were. And we can go down here. That enemy right there is called an Asylum demon. And they are very tanky, very stocky. When I first played this game, I was like, ooh, challenge accepted, and I just played for a while to try and kill this guy for the first time. They do drop important items, and this one in particular is a permakill, which means when I kill him, he won't respawn. On this game playthrough, of course. Obviously, here he is. But when I come back down through this area later on, once I kill him, he won't be there. So I just kind of dodge to the right. Try not to get squished by that attack. Try not to let him triple attack me. I'm not wearing armor right now, so he does do a good chunk of damage. And kill me. He's a stocky boy. If he is indeed a boy. I'm not sure. He's a demon. So I got him. There was Demon Titanite, which is an important upgrade item. And down in this area is the Darkroot Gardens. The forest area I was talking about, and that we got a shortcut to from Havel, after fighting Havel. These guys drop blood red moss clumps and purple moss clumps, which heal you of bleed and poison, respectively. So if you go up here, that connects down to the lower part where that shortcut was with Havel. But we're going to go this way. There's so much to explore and so much to talk about. I'm having so much fun telling you guys all about this. I still don't know how the fuck to get that item. I can't imagine it's anything important at this point, because I have the platinum and all of the important weapons and items and everything. But I think I've gotten it one time, and I can't remember how to get there. I did the entire New Game Plus without getting it. Oh my god. Die. Stop jumping back and just accept your fate. Oh my god. He did so much damage. Because I'm using a big tanky skill for it. Alright. Up here, there is a bonfire. Shiny thing. So. Okay. Another thing you gotta know about the Dark Souls games, remember how I was telling you people run up and hit the chests to make sure they're real? You'll also see people running up and hitting walls. So there's a lot of secrets in these games, and there's a lot of illusory walls that are illusions, and once you hit them, they'll reveal a secret path. So there's so much to explore, and so people playing these games, you'll see them run up and hit walls, and there's memes where it's like, I hit 200 walls, but only one of them opened, and I was just like, you know, I knew it. Oh yeah, so right here, it's an illusion. There's a bonfire. This is an important bonfire because it is a run back to 2 bosses. Boss number 1, if you go on the right down here and keep going through the forest, there is the Moonlight butterfly. Boss number 2, through this shiny door, once I buy the Crest of Taurus from the blacksmith for 20,000 souls, it opens this. It goes through another part of the forest, and then Great Grey Wolf Sith, which is a boss that I want tattooed on my arm, along with Artorias, my favorite, one of my favorite Souls bosses, who is, in fact, a DLC boss in this game, so we'll be fighting him. I'm very excited for that fight and to get that video. I feel bad every time I fight Sif, because he's literally just a good boy. And I'll tell you the lore about him, but... We're not doing either of those yet. I think they will be the very next bosses we do, both of them. Purple moss clump, that's the poison one. They drop them very frequently, so if you need to farm for bleed or for poison, they're right there. These guys drop them. Let's see. No, he didn't drop them. I'm gonna start. So, first boss is the Forest Demon. The next one we're gonna do is the Gargoyles, and then we're gonna ring the bell. And after that, the reason because it's pretty much a dead end after that, and you can come back. And if you go down that way, there's another bonfire eventually that connects to. It all connects. It connects back to the area where Blighttown is, and the new Londo ruins, and to the Undead Burg. So, we're gonna come back here. Now, I don't really need to do the NPC quest lines, because I've done everything. Like I said, I've done everything in all 3 Souls games. But I want to tentatively, if I can remember and can make sure I do things right, I would like to tentatively show you guys some of the NPC quest lines, and Solaire is one of them. As I showed you, he's one of the favorites. Another favorite is down here, and I think I missed him on New Game Plus because I just flew through and did everything so fast. But I'm being more thorough with my streaming. And so this guy is also very, very famous. He's on a lot of t-shirts. He's a quirky guy.
Oh, forgive me. I was absorbed in thought. I am Siegmeyer.
His name's Siegmeyer of Katarina.
I run flat up against a wall, or a gate,
now,
I should say. The thing just won't budge. No matter how long I wait.
There is an identical character in Dark Souls 3 that is supposedly unrelated, called Siegward of Katarina. So there's Siegmeyer in Dark Souls 1 and Siegward in Dark Souls 3, and they look exactly the same. But I guess technically they're different characters. But they're both the Onion Knight. This guy is called the Onion Knight because of the way his armor looks like it, and his helmet looks like an onion.
Still closed.
Still closed. And when you encounter Siegward in Dark Souls 3, you also meet him for the first time where he's going, So it's literally the same character. And they fall asleep a lot. That's another thing. But he is an NPC where I will try and do as much of his questline as possible. I think it's very difficult to do his total questline because there's a turning point in his questline where you gotta kind of lock in and do it right, otherwise, a lot of the another common thing in the Souls games is a lot of the NPCs have tragic ends to their quests. Very few of them have happy or good ends, and a lot of them are characters you really come to like or enjoy, or even help you out against bosses, so it's kind of sad. I'm going to at least try and get through the next boss tonight. If I'm feeling very ambitious, I will do the following 2 bosses, or 1 or 2 of them. But I kind of want to just start the world for you. I'm very excited. I'm having a lot of fun right now playing this. It's a lot more relaxing for me than playing Bloodborne was. I know the Souls game's a lot better. These early ones, it's more fun just exploring the world and doing the things. The bosses aren't as hard to me, so it's less stressful. Up here, there's a permakill. He's a big, stocky knight. I don't think he can be backstabbed. And I just struck him out very easily because I'm a New Game Plus. But he's not easy. So there's a Firekeeper soul. This is a really important item for the Firekeeper back at the Firelink Shrine. What I'm going to do now is, because I have 23,000 souls, is go back right now and buy the crest Artorias before I lose my souls. Because I don't really care about them in general for most things in this playthrough, so I will be very absent-minded, but I know for sure I have them right now, so I would like to buy that so I can go fight Sif whenever I want. And if I do decide to do the other 2 bosses after the next one tonight, then I can schmooze through them pretty quickly.
Well, you need any?
Purchase item, Crest of Artorias. That gets us access to that door, that shiny door in the gardens, and one of the bosses. We're gonna go back. Now I'm going to show you real quick. I'm kind of going to run through to the left here. Actually, first, right here, very important elevator. Very important shortcut. This goes back to the Firelink Shrine. In the Firelink Shrine. If you remember, there's the NPC who does the face spells, and through there is the shrine. So this permanently connects the Firelink Shrine with the church and the gardens, and it could be a run back from the Firelink Shrine to the next boss. Also right here, if you roll down there and land on that, and then jump over there, that is how you get back to, it's a secret, that you can go back to the crow's nest, and he'll take you back to the Undead Asylum, where we fought the first quote-unquote boss, the Asylum demon, and when you go back there, there will be the Stray demon, like I said earlier. We'll fight him at some point. I can literally do it at any point, but it's not a priority right now. And he's technically, like, if you follow the actual order, he's probably a few blocks. Oh, you wouldn't fight him yet. Now, like I said, I'm going to run through, because here is another shortcut. This is where that giant boar was, and they shut the gate on me. And I just quickly got the basement key before I died, see before. So this is a shortcut now. We won't shut it again. There's another one unlocked. And we have a key. I believe, I might be wrong, I believe that unlocks the door over by where the dragon was on the bridge. And that is a run back to yet another boss, the Capra demon. So we're like I said, every area connects, it's all integrated. It's, you know, everything leads to everything else. So right now, basically, we're at a point where I have maybe 4 bosses, if not more, that I can access, like, right now and fight if I wanted to. So I could really do it at whatever order. And if this is your first time playing, I recommend doing probably either this boss or the Moonlight Butterfly next, and then maybe Sith. There was a sorcerer guy back there and an item, but I don't need it. So you run through here. You climb these ladders. Those little guys can climb after you, just so you know, so move a little quickly. And this is the boss. And that's the bell tower that we have to ring the first bell. Well, there's that. Don't do that. Don't fall off the roof. As you saw, I did massive damage to him there. He hit me because I was trying to take a video of the, save a clip of the intro for my YouTube later. So I wasn't really locked in. But, so, spoiler alert, this boss is a gank fight. And a notorious one because of this game being a foundational game. It kind of copies the Man-Eater boss from Demon Souls. If you know Demon Souls, there are these like twin they look kind of like gargoyles too. Pretty much similar vibe. But there's a gimmick to that fight where there's like a thing in the middle that if you stay there, you're kind of protected from them, but if you stray outside, they can do magic attack on you or something. So this boss, you're gonna fight the first one, and once you do a specific amount of damage, which I'll probably be basically killing him. A second time. Yeah, so a couple things about that fight. Most of the time, you're not going to be killing the first one that fast and then having the second one come in and then having it basically be one then another. This fight is meant to be a gank fight. You basically get the first one down to like half health and then the second one comes in and you have to fight them both at the same time. And you have to manage that by running around the roof, positioning them accordingly, and it's a hard fight and it's an early fight, so it's fighting two enemies at the same time is kind of difficult. Obviously, I'm super fucking leveled, so as I said, killing the first one by the time the second one came in. Another really interesting thing to know about this game is if you're looking for the platinum and you're looking to get every single weapon in the game, if you're a collector like I am, there's a lot of enemies in this game where if you attack their tail, you can actually break it off and the tail becomes a weapon. And there are unique weapons you can get in this game by attacking an enemy's tail. The gargoyle is one of them. I don't know if you noticed there, but the second gargoyle that came down had its tail already chopped off, which I find very interesting. I didn't know that that was going to be a thing. But I think it's because I already did it and I got its tail and I've gotten the platinum, so the game must know that and that his tail was chopped off. Another thing is he seemed to be half health when he came in. I'm not sure why that was. But obviously a very quick fight for me, but not on my first time playing it, let me tell you, because I didn't do that much damage, and so I had to fight them both at the same time and like constantly be moving around the roof, dodging the fire breath from one, you know, positioning myself accordingly so I wasn't getting hit. It was a lot tougher my first time playing it. And I, as you guys might know, as I've talked about, I don't like gang fights. I hated the well, I didn't hate it, but when I was doing streaming Bloodborne, fighting the shadows of Yarn, I told you guys repeatedly that I don't like gang fights, and that fight in particular is like one of my first challenges midway after Father Gascoigne, fighting multiple enemies at the same time. So this is the first bell. It's an important part of the game progression in this game to ring. I think there's 3 bells? 2 or 3 bells that you have to ring that like are main progressions through the game. And I forget what they do. I don't know if they do anything actually in the physical world of the game, but or if it's more for like the plot and the storyline. But I mean, as far as like beating through and progressing the game, it's important to get the bells. So that's why I wanted to, and then that's it. That's like this area is like a dead end, which is why I wanted to come do this first. There is an NPC guy here.
Greeting.
After you ring the bell.
I am Oswald of Kareem.
This is Oswald of Kareem.
Thou appearest to lack faith, yet magnanimous are the gods. Cometh thou to confess? Or to accuse?
There's another concept in these games where they track if you commit what's called a sin, you can basically be like you can do an action or like kill an NPC that gets you basically blacklisted, kind of. And I think you can come to him to request absolution. See, it says you have not sinned. But if I had done something to have sinned, I think there's a specific item you have to get and come and bring it to him, and then you can request absolution. He also teaches you this gesture, and I think you could buy items. Purging Stone. This is a really important item for later in one of the areas. It reduces curse buildup and breaks your curse. This game, it's really obnoxious. It doesn't happen often, but if you get cursed, your health is permanently at half health until you use one of these things. So this is actually a really important item. Indictment, I'm not sure what this is. Report. You can get homeward bones. These are really important because they can, at any place in the game, and I think even if you're in a boss fight, you can use these and it will return you to the last bonfire you rested at. So it's kind of like a get out of jail free. This is interesting. I don't know if I have these. Didn't I just buy these? Are there multiple ones? He also has this spell. You can get a talisman, so kind of like the Sorcerer's Catalyst from Rickert. A talisman is something you hold to cast specific types of spells, I think faith spells. And he's got these rings, which I already have, but Blood Bite boosts bleeding resistance, and Poison Bite boosts poison resistance. So any boss or area that, well, Poison Bite, there's an area, like a swampy area, that has poison build up, so that will decrease the speed at which it builds up. And Bleed is also a status effect. I was showing you the purple moss clump and the red moss clump from the forest. Those are items to get rid of bleed and poison as well. And then the Ring of Sacrifice. These rings, they are a permanent item you get. You can wear them at any time. This ring is not. You use it up when you use it. It's only like a one use. But you can use it so that when you die, if you use it before you die, you don't lose any of your souls. Like, you don't have to run back and collect your souls. But then the ring breaks, so this is temporary.
Stop it, Undead.
So, that's Oswald. I think he stays there. Back by going on here. Although these guys are now waiting for me because I didn't kill them. So it's so annoying to get back in. Can't really get an angle on them because they're like attacking me. And I don't want to fall off of there. So I'm going to show you how to use a homeward bone, because that's very annoying. Actually, I think I have it in my... Yeah. Okay, so I have it already down here in like a quick tool menu. But basically, it takes a second and you just... Oop, fast travel. If you're playing Dark Souls 2, which we are going to play next, another annoying thing about Dark Souls 2 is it takes way longer to homeward bone than in this game. You get like, it's like a big obnoxious gesture where you it slowly kneels down to use it, and then in that time an enemy can attack you and break you out of it. Another wonderful thing about Dark Souls 2. Alright, so I'm feeling okay. We schmoofed through that pretty quickly. The crest. I think I'm going to go for the Moonlight Butterfly next, because that is an optional boss, a pretty easy one, and also a dead end. So this is the door I was talking about. We bought that crest of Artorias. You can hold up the crest. Open. So that crest is 20,000 souls. And that will go to that area. We're gonna rest here so that when we die, this will be the. Oh, I can't rest because an enemy's around. Sometimes you can't use a bonfire if an enemy is too close. Yeah. But we are not going to go through the door yet. Instead, we're going to go down this path. I'm going to run through, because I don't like this area. There is an item in here, but it's a trap. And this is not the boss. This is not the boss gate. It looks like a boss gate, but it's just this area. And there's a bunch of stone statues in here that come to life, and more of those plant things that pop out. There's an elite knight set right there. I hate this area. So I'm just gonna run through. Also, if you need... Did I miss it? Oh, it's right over here. If you need a summon for the boss, there's a summon in this bush, but you need to be human to do it. You can't be hollowed. Remember I said earlier you have to be human for a summon. But I don't need the summon for this fight, and it's really hard to summon those enemies that I just ran away from with pretty much game. So the boss is the Moonlight butterfly. She's very pretty. For her graphics. She does magic. She shoots magic attacks. Pretty much those two attacks right there. That's just kind of a spread attack, and then the other ones are targeting missiles. And to do damage on her, you wait until she... If you have a bow and arrow, or if you have magic, you can shoot her. Projectile, but if you're doing a melee build, like me, you have to wait until she comes down to the stone. She can also do what she just did and switch sides. And if she's behind the fog wall, she can't hit you. She comes to the wall. This is your opportunity to hit her. And then she explodes. So if you're still standing there when she goes to retreat, she'll explode. I just did half of her health and damage. So you basically rinse and repeat this. She's not a very difficult boss. I know the graphics are not the best because it's an old game, but I really like the aesthetics of her at least. She can also do that targeting when she comes in. It's pretty much just just gotta dodge. Your iframes will protect you. Just have plenty of Estus. That's it. That's that fight. That's an optional boss, I believe. There are some bosses in these games that are mandatory to move and progress through the game, and there are some that are optional for specific quests or items or extra souls or whatever. I think at the top here is an ember, or something you can give to one of the 4th smiths. Yeah, divine ember for a specific type of reinforcement. You got a homeward bone and watchtower basement key. There's another basement key, so I have a basement key and a watchtower basement key. I can't remember which one is which. I think one of them is the door by the dragon. But anyway, I'm gonna use another homeward bone, the one I just picked up. Quick cut back here. So we're gonna. So I might as well fight Sif too. None of these bosses are particularly challenging. Sif is, I guess, a little bit more, moves around a lot, and if you're not careful, you can get killed. But so I'll put on my armor when I get there. But there's another covenant that you can discover in the woods here. Basically, when you enter the woods, there's a ton of different NPC fighters, and they all come and rush you and try and kill you. And you have to run by them or fight them all, and then you move through, and there's going to be this, like a stone area where there's a cat sitting in the windowsill, and that cat is where you can join the covenant. Like I said, I've gotten all the covenants, so basically the cat lets you join the covenant, and once you join the covenant, you get a ring. Cat covenant ring. Pretty sure it's that one. Yeah. Pretty sure it's that one. Yeah, cat covenant ring. And once you wear that ring, from then on, the NPCs that were hostile to you will not be hostile to you. They're trying to kill me now, so that must not be the right ring. I'm pretty sure that was the one, though. Oh, maybe it's because... Maybe it's because I'm not in the covenant right now. Maybe you have to be in the covenant first. But I thought just wearing the ring was enough to make them not aggro you. How is... What? I just rested at the bonfire, bro. What the hell? Oh, and they're like half invisible. Oh, I just killed that one. You have to be in the covenant and then wearing the ring. I thought just wearing the ring was enough, but apparently not. Yeah, they're trying to aggro me. I don't know. I think you have to be in the covenant first and then wearing the ring. They'll leave you alone. You'll run through and they'll all just stand there. But as you can see, if you're not in the covenant yet, they'll run after you. And the cat is right here. This is the cat in the window. Interesting looking fellow. I'm gonna keep moving because they're trying to kill me still. I think he's funny. I'm not showing you this whole area yet. There's a giant forest, and there's lots of different enemies and items. But if you pretty much run straight from the bonfire, past the door, through those guys, past the cat, and here you can already see there's a light up there, which is a door. This is the boss already. Now, down there's a ladder off to the right side of this forest that connects to where the connection was after Havel. And there's a giant Hydra down there, which is not a boss, but it's like a mini-boss enemy. And we can go down and do that later, but this is the boss. This is the Great Grey Wolf Sif. He's a good boy. We all like him. So Sif is the dog. I'll give you the lore here. Sif. Actually, let me run to the bathroom. I'll come back and get rid of the lore. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. So, Sif is the guardian dog of Artorias the Abyss Walker. Artorias was a knight that that was like, he was a dragon fighter along with his like squad, which there are a couple NPCs that we'll meet in the DLC. Along with like Gwyn, Lord of Cinder, and some other dragon fighter characters like Havel and another boss we'll see later in the game. And he basically was an abyss walker, so he could walk in this place called the Abyss, which was like a shadowy place, which we'll also see later in the game. But there is a DLC boss called Manith, Lord of the Abyss, and basically Artorias dies fighting the Abyss and fighting Manith, and like it consumes him pretty much, I guess is the best way to say. But he gets Sif as a puppy, and it's like his guard dog and helps him fight and stuff like that. And he protects Sif from the Abyss and saves Sif. And in the boss fight we're about to see, we're going to see Sif is still guarding his gravestone, like a loyal dog always does. So, it's kind of sad. Sword. He actually does a lot of damage to me because I often miss his dodges. And he jumps back a lot, so you have to dodge and then pick your timing for your attacks. It's not the easiest of the Dark Souls 1 bosses early game, in my opinion. It's not like hard, but he's not that easy. Yeah, kind of. You just gotta like pick your dodge timing. Dodge, attack, dodge. Oh, he hits me all the time. Maybe it's a skill issue. And then, like, I get frustrated because I try and get hits on him. forward attack there. I like this dodge roll stab attack. So you get the Soul of Sif. Oh, also, just so you know, with the Dark Souls game, see, it wasn't that hard, but, you know, a little, I guess, compared to some of the bosses, I don't know. So, Soul of Sif, in a lot of the Dark Souls games, you can break the boss's soul for lots of souls. Don't do that. Unless you don't give a shit about lots of extra game mechanics and stuff like that, sure, but basically you can use the boss souls in Dark Souls 1 to upgrade a normal weapon into a very specific boss weapon using the soul with one of those four. Actually, I think it's a very specific smith. One of the four smiths does this. We'll find him later. He wasn't one of the two that we've discovered yet. So you keep the soul, upgrade your weapon to, I think it's +5 at one blacksmith. Then you go to another, upgrade it from +5 to +10. And then if you have the soul and the upgrade materials, you can basically turn any weapon that's in the category of whatever boss weapon you're trying to get. You use the soul, and it turns it into a unique boss weapon. Now, it's really annoying doing all of that, in my opinion. In Dark Souls 3, well, Dark Souls 2 and 3, they changed that, so it's a lot easier. You basically just take the soul, bring it to somebody, and trade it in for an already existing weapon. But in this game, you have to make the boss weapon yourself. So there's a lot of smithing stuff. The other thing we get after killing him is that ring right there called the Covenant of Artorias. That is important because, like I said, we're going to find the Abyss later, specifically with one of the bosses we fight. And when you drop down into the Abyss for the boss fight, it's quite cinematic for the graphics of this game. If you are not wearing this ring, you will instantly die. You cannot even access that boss. And that boss is actually the boss of the new Londo ruins, which is that area I said you shouldn't even go in unless you have a specific item, which is not even this item. It's another item called the Transient Curse. Because there's a bunch of ghosts that try and kill you in that area, like those are the enemies, and you just swing right through them unless you have consumed one of those. So you need the Transient Curse item just to be able to fight the ghosts in that area, and then when you get to the boss, you can't even fight the boss, you instantly die unless you're wearing this item, the Covenant of Artorias. So Sif is a required boss. You need to get this ring, you need to be wearing it when you drop down. You also get a humanity, which turns to human, and a homeward bone. So, you didn't see it there because I killed him fast enough at the end, but if you do enough damage to him to the point where he gets, like, I think 3/4 health, or, like, 3/4 of his health gone, or, like, 80% or something, it's really sad. He starts limping, and he just, like, can't really do much. He like limps forward on an injured paw and just kind of like, I don't even know if he can attack you at that point. Like maybe he can do like a little thrust, but it's like really sad. And then you have to kill him when he's like limping, and he's like such a good boy because we like Artorias. So that's why people are saying things like sorrow, imminent sorrow. Sorrow ahead. Yeah, because everybody feels bad for the poor boy. This is Artorias' grave. He's basically, all the swords are like commemoration. Oh, and if you go behind here, there's the Hornet Ring, which don't know if we're being expansive enough. Hornet Ring boosts critical attacks. I can't remember if I think a critical attack is when you stagger them, and then so it's either like a backstab or a parry stagger, or like if you stagger the boss, I think, but I could be wrong. I probably won't stream for too much longer, but I am having fun, so maybe a little bit longer. I could be convinced. So we've started, this is the first stream I'm doing for Dark Souls. I've explained a lot of the lore, a lot of the foundation. Well, not a lot of the lore. Some of the lore, a lot of the foundation, a lot of game mechanics. We've beaten, technically, if you want to count the Asylum Demon. I don't count the Asylum Demon, because he just fall on his head. But if you don't count the Asylum Demon, we've beaten 4 bosses today. Taurus Demon, the Belfry Gargoyles, the Moonlight Butterfly, and Great Grey Sif. 5 bosses if you count the Asylum Demon. So pretty good for today already. This game will not be... Sorry. This game will not take me that long. Part of the reason I'm excited to play all of them, but is so I'm gonna move through them a little slower so I can explain all the lore and stuff. But if I was like trying to move through it as fast as possible and running through everything, it would not take me long at all. It probably still won't take me that long. That's another reason why I want to play all 3 Dark Souls games and just do like those are really annoying cat enemies. They look very much like the cat whom you get the ring from. Grab attack, and I am dead. Oh, he eats it. That's really interesting. There's 188,000 souls right there that I just lost. I'll be honest, I don't particularly care. I don't really need to level up. As you can see, I'm doing lots of damage on all the bosses this run. I am already over leveled as it is for New Game Plus where I'm at. So we have the Ring of Artorias, which means we can probably fight the 4 kings now, which is go through the New Londo ruins, do the boss there. We could also, because I have the Master Key, go down to Blight Town, go through that whole awful area. I probably won't go to every nook and cranny and every item in the area because it's just painful. And if you want to experience how painful it is, you can play the game for yourself. And then the next boss, the boss down at the bottom, is the Chaos Witch Quelaag. So we could go that way. We could go to the New Londo ruins. The other way we could go is down through the cave by the skeletons and make our way to the Tomb of the Giants, where one of the main bosses we have to beat in the game is the Grave Lord Nito. But I can't remember if there is a yellow fog wall blocking Nito right now, because there is a yellow fog wall after Quelaag that's blocking the way further into the demon ruins. When I do go through the area of the demon ruins, I'm going to explain, there's like a lot of lore and stuff with the demons, and they show, there are demons in Dark Souls 2 that they try and connect with it, but Dark Souls 2 is so fucking separate from Dark Souls 1 and 3 that they try and connect to the lore, and it's just not even a thing. Like, there are demons in it, but Dark Souls 2 tries to connect to these games, and it's just not happening. But there are there's a connection to Dark Souls 3, which when we get to Dark Souls 3, after we beat this whole game, I will show you like the connection between the two areas. But basically, as I was saying, there's lots of different options that we can do. I mean, before we're blocked by those yellow fog walls, which I forgot how exactly we progress. But there's like a lot of different things to do. I'll go this way to show you guys. Oh. Where this connects to. Moved from the Darkroot Gardens to the Darkroot Basin. So, these shiny lizard things. Crystal lizards. An equivalent of those started in Demon Souls. And they're in like every Souls game. So in Bloodborne, what we were just playing, it was those little squiggly tentacle things that I kept chasing around and killing. There were a lot of them in the Nightmare Frontier, specifically. And most of them dropped like the bloodstone shards for upgrade equipments. That also just dropped Twinkling Titanite, which is a special upgrade material for weapons, and I think regular Titanite. There is an item over here if we drop down and then drop down again. The leather set and a bow and arrow. And I believe go down here. Yeah, there's a knight down here. Is this a black knight? Yeah, this is a black knight. I think so. Is this either a black knight or a silver knight? There are silver knights in this game. Actually, I think it's a silver knight. I'm not sure. I can't tell with the lighting in here. But there are silver knights in black. No, that's a black knight. You get the Black Knight's Halberd, which is one of the most goated weapons in the game. I actually have it here. And I use it sometimes. I switch between this and the Black Knight Greatsword. Black Knight Halberd is really cool. It's one of the best weapons in this game. It has a good moveset, good range. And then the thing I just picked up right here was the Grass Crest Shield, which is the shield I am using and have been using since the start of this game. It is my favorite shield in every one of the Souls games because holding this shield, it's not the strongest or sturdiest of the shields, but as you can see, the little shiny green glow that's been around me since the start of the game that I didn't even think to point out to you guys. Because I'm holding this shield, the shield, let me see if I can show you. Yeah, here we go. Grass Crest Shield. Old medium metal shield of unknown origin. The Grass Crest is lightly imbued with magic, which slightly speeds stamina recovery. So holding the shield speeds up my stamina recovery by a little bit, and that's why I'm glowing green. If I didn't have this shield, I would not be glowing green. So now I have two of them. They're both the same. I've just played this. So this bonfire. So if I had went the other way up there, it would have connected me to where we killed Havel, and the tower and the Undead Burg, and then where the Hydra is. Going this way, we get this bonfire, which has already been upgraded to 20 Estus, and then we get a shortcut. This shortcut leads us down to the back entrance of the new Londo ruins, and the path to the Firelink Shrine and Blight Town. It connects to that door that we unlocked earlier with the Master Key. I might as well show you. Like I said, everything connects in this game. You can literally go from any area to a path through to the rest of the areas. Valley of Drakes. I was like Dragon Sanctum or whatever, I can't remember. Valley of Drakes. So that big castle door over there is the back end to the new Londo. I don't think we can get there yet. We have to open it from the inside. And that's where the Four Kings boss is. Running up this way on this very narrow slope past all these dragons. There will be a big dragon mini boss enemy right there that spews poison or something. And you can kill this dragon. Probably not early in the game. He's guarding some items here. Very difficult to kill. Spews that poison. Another one later in the game that's like exactly like him that is in the DLC. One of the DLC. Oh no, it's not the DLC. It's a hidden optional area though. Yeah. I mean, you basically have to dodge him like smashing you and spew poison right in your face, but you can kill him and you get an item. So that's over there. That's where we opened earlier with the master key. This is the area of Blighttown and Quelaag. That's probably one of the next areas we're going to go, although not quite yet. I'll probably do that on the next stream because I don't want to fuck with that area right yet. That's Blighttown, the heinous place. But and this is New Londo Ruins. Now that we have that ring, I've got some transient curses. We can go down there and do the next area. But what I think I'm going to do right now, just to end the stream, because I'm just kind of want to fuck around in like a more non-committal way to end the stream rather than dive into something important or significant next. I think now's a good time to go back to the Asylum that we started the game in, which remember, you could go back at any time. We could have gone back before we killed Sif and the Moonlight Butterfly. You could go back like way later in the game. You don't have to go back at all. It's an optional area. You might not even know it exists if you've never played this game. So I'll show it to you. There is a doll. So if you find it like way later in the game, it can be nostalgic because it's like, oh, this is where we like started the game. Like this is the cell, whatever. But I'm doing it very soon right now on my first stream. So you guys literally just saw me there at the start of this. But there's a doll, a peculiar doll in the cell where you started the game when you go back there, and you need that doll to unlock that hidden optional area that I was literally just talking about, where there's another one of those big dragons. This is a new NPC, obviously.
Hello. I don't think we've met.
So I think you can find him. He's Lautric.
We're both undead.
He's another hollowed undead. I think you can find him in a cell and unlock the cell to rescue him before he comes here. But I don't remember where that is, and obviously I didn't do that. I must have already ran through wherever it was. Like, you can look up, a guide of where that is. I came across him, I think, when I did New Game Plus by accident.
Then stay silent.
But he is kind of threatening.
If you have none.
And he's sitting out here by the Firekeeper, foreshadowing there's something that's going to happen here. But we're going to give... yeah, more to come. Come back and talk to this guy after we rung the bell.
I didn't expect you to make it.
He's got new dialogue now.
Somebody rang the bell. Wait, was it you? You never give up, do you? I don't know how you do it. Well, don't stop now. Only one more. But it's going
okay,
to
there's
be
only two
suicide.
Yeah, it will be suicide because we have to go all the way down through Blighttown and
What's wrong? No problem. That will both be hollow before you know it.
It's very sarcastic. Nihilistic.
Well, I've already decided I don't really care. I'm simply crestfallen.
He's very defeatist and kind of depressed about his fate.
How did that silly sorcerer's apprentice end up? You know, the one always prattling on about Master Logan. He left for the Undead Burg, but never came back.
Oh.
Serves him right. If even old Big Hat can't make it out there, what chance does he
We
have?
can find, I know, we find him when we,
hollow.
oh, that's another area we can do. We can go back up, unlock the door by the dragon, and go down. There's the next boss that we have to fight, the Capra demon. And then go down to the depths, which is another area that connects to the gaping dragon boss. There's so many different areas.
I'm not up.
But he was referencing a sorcerer's apprentice there who disappeared. So that's another NPC we can find out there, and we save him from that area, and he can come back here and sell us pyromancies, which are a third type of spell. That's probably what I'll do, actually. Before the Four Kings, before Quelaag, I'll probably do the Capra demon. That's what I should do next, but I'm gonna still end tonight with going back to where we started and do the Stray Demon. So that'll be the next boss. Optional boss. So we come down here. This looks very sketchy, but I promise you'll make it. Control and land here. And then you got a platform, walk up here. There's the crow. So there's an item down there which we could go down and get, but then we'd be abandoning what we're doing right now. There's also an item right there which we can go down and get, but we'd be abandoning what we're doing right now, so I'm not going to do either. Now this is a secret. A lot of people now know, obviously, but back then it was like, well, you come to this nest at the top. This is the crow's nest, and you curl up like a ball. Now, seemingly nothing happens, so you have to wait a little while, because most people would do this and just, then choose to stand up. They're like, okay, weird. And they would probably leave. But you have to wait for a long time, which I found that, by now I would have given up and moved, but if you don't, it will have a cutscene. And the crow will come up, take you as if you were one of its eggs, because remember, he was the one that brought us to the Firelink shrine in the first place from the Undead Asylum, so he brings you then back. There's another nest. So, I don't know, I think you technically wouldn't fight the Stray Demon until after the Capra Demon. But we're back here to the Undead Asylum, where we started the game. And we're not going to die, that would be really annoying. I'm not going to walk across the middle because it will collapse. It will collapse, and we will be fighting the boss. But I'm not ready yet because I want to come back here and rest at the bonfire, which I can't do now because this guy followed me in here. So I can't rest at the bonfire when there are enemies. Oh my god, so actually we have to kill all these guys now. They're easy to kill, but if you get caught in those torch guys... When I was first here, they weren't doing a lot of damage, but remember, at this point, this is technically farther in the game by the time you come back. This is later. So I'm going to come back here. So, this boss, I will say, is actually decently difficult. There is a thing that you do to over and over again, clearly to beat it, like a lot of these other bosses. But I will say this is actually one of the more difficult bosses, early to mid game. It's not like a guaranteed pushover. So you come over here. This falls out from under you. You do take fall damage. Apparently you take damage from this idiot, who might actually throw in this run for us. Alright, still alive. Alright, so this is the stray demon. He does that move that explodes like with magic. What you have to do is get behind him and attack his butt here. And then just keep getting behind him. If you fight him head on, it's really difficult. Wait till he does this move and get back because it explodes with that magic. And rinse and repeat the whole fight. Start in, attack. Does that explosion thing. As he rotates, get behind him. He has other attacks, but he'll just keep doing this attack, will just keep getting triggered if you're behind him. Most of his other attacks are just like lunging forward and slamming with his axe there. Or doing this little readjust thing. Slams down. Just keep getting behind him. Watch out for that. Get a humanity and a homeward bone, and then a titanite slab, which is a final needed to upgrade your weapon to the final level. So that's the stray demon. He's an optional fight. This is where we started the game and walked by when we left our cell and could see him. Now there's a Black Knight over there. So there are a couple Black Knights in this area now because it's technically farther in the game. And you have to fight him in this narrow hallway, as you have to fight a lot of Black Knights in this game in little narrow areas. And that's because it makes it harder. Because backstabbing them is the easiest way to kill them. So I got a red Titanite chart. Really rare and important upgrade item. And then this is the cell where we started our game and I started my stream today. We come back here and now there's an item in there, the peculiar doll, and we need that item later to access an optional special area, which I thought was the DLC, but it's not. It's just it looks very similar. It's pretty much like the same concept for what is going to be the DLC in Dark Souls 3, but it's not a DLC in this game. So this is where we started the game. We had all the controls and everything. We did that first try. I mean, at this point, I've killed that demon so many times. Because I played this game on Xbox before I played it on PlayStation, so we're on New Game Plus Plus on PlayStation, but I've beat this game on Xbox as well, so I've killed it at least 3 times, maybe 4 times now, but like, I've fought it a lot. Wait, was I just here? No. There's another Black Knight over here. What I do not want to be doing is dealing with that other guy, though, while I'm also fighting this guy. die. That's really annoying. Really annoying that that one little tiny guy came following me all the way down the hallway and ruined that. All right, well, we'll run it back. No, that's not where I was. Is that where I was? But that wasn't where I was either. Over this way? I don't even remember. Came down here. Fuck you. Fuck you too. Came up the ladder. Rolled here. Bought that Black Knight. Got the doll. Went up this way. Went up this ladder. So it was over here, right? Oh, bruh. Who the fuck are you? Isn't that the NPC that helps us at the beginning? I thought he died. I was actually, that's where I was going to show you guys. I thought he was, there was an item. I told you he helps you and then he's dead and there's an item, but it seems not dead. Oh. Oh. Will be dead. Crest shield. Interesting. Came out of nowhere. Well, that's, yeah, this is where he was. I was actually gonna go up and I thought there was an item there, but he was still alive. So we get the crest shield. Has a little bit more oomph to it than the grass crest shield, but the grass crest shield has stamina regen. Where was I? How did I already lose? How did I lose track of where I was? Find one of the hallways. There was a bonfire. Am I tripping? Oh, it was over here. Where the hell was it? I'm gonna kill this bitch though, because I think that was the guy that followed me all the way down the hall. Yeah, there's the bonfire. Yeah, he fucking followed me all the way in there from here. It's so annoying. I had even gotten one of the backstabs on him already. Which is not guaranteed. That should have been one. Oh, there's an item there, but you have to come down from up top. Balls back. Nice try. More tutorial. Yeah, so like it's like nostalgic when you come back here, and it's like, oh, this is where I started, but like I did it so early, didn't even have time to be nostalgic. This is where we fall on the Asylum demon's head. So we've beaten the Asylum demon and the Stray demon in one stream. Which is unusual. Not that I stream or streamed before, but I stream now. But not that I streamed before, but I usually didn't beat them in the same playthrough all the time. Why is it locked? What possible key do I not have that would open that door? What the fuck? Well, you need to open that door to get the item, I think. Where would the key be? Like, what? Do I have to come from the other side somehow? I couldn't possibly know. Bro, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I would have to look up a guide to see how to get around that. It's weird. Not to mention I have a master key, so if it's like a door that like you could find a key to, you could also been able to open it with a master key. For some reason they chose. That door is special. Fuck y'all. I'm gonna come back up here. Curl up in a ball, and this one you don't have to wait, it's pretty immediate. Come back, and once again take you from the Asylum back to the Firelink Shrine. Do I want to be ambitious? Undead, Asylum, F2 West key. Are you fucking kidding me? This key right here is the key back to that door that I couldn't open. So I'd have to go all the way back for that. That's so weird. That's wild. Okay. Well, whatever that is, you could come back. Trying to do mental calculations of the area because I know everything connects to find the fastest way. Pretty positive we have the key to the door to the Capra demon now. It's not really a very long run back. bonfire where we fight the Taurus demon. And that fight's a little annoying, but it's not hard. And it's almost annoying because of the way they do the arena. Not the actual boss, it's like difficult. I've been happily killing everything first try pretty much on the stream, but not guaranteed that I would, you know, but a couple tries. Alright, so I'm gonna go up here. Oops. I'm gonna use the ladder. Go up here. I don't think you can speed climb it in this game up. That goes out and connects to where we were. We can't even remember. We did it already. This is a dragon. And this door. Yes, basement key. Yep, it was the first one we got, not the... So... run back from that bonfire that we just were. If you hold B, you can speed climb. You can speed go down. I don't know what's up here. This is a shortcut. Yeah, this is a shortcut to the Undead Burg. One of the parts, one of the enemy groups that we ran past when we were going towards Demon. But when you go down here, this is the run back to the Capra Demon. This is a new area. There are these dogs that bum rush you. I just take them on my shield and kill them. There's a lot of enemies that rush you and try and like overwhelm you in this area. In this
Anybody help me?
Somebody help me unlock the door.
I'm finished. How did this ever...
It's kind of like in Bloodborne, those doors. Yep, so residence key. This key is the one you buy from the merchant up in the Undead Burg. This is the guy I was talking about.
You opened the door for me. Thank you. I am Griggs of Vinheim, a sorcerer of the school.
Oh, this isn't
I
even
am much obliged for your assistance.
No, this isn't
Thanks
even
to
the guy
you,
I was
may now
thinking
resume
about. There's
my
another
travels.
guy we saved down by the depths, but we saved him. So I think he
hello.
goes back
I'm
to
fine.
the
I have my sword beside.
Firelink shrine now that we've saved him. So you buy that key from the merchant. One swing and I would have killed all of them. But I don't think I can get it off. Literally would have gone around and killed all 5 of them. Anyway, we got the humanities for our efforts. So we gotta run it back. So this bonfire is the run back to the Taurus demon and the Capra demon. Both are early game bosses, so both you don't need more Estus on that bonfire later on. But it would be advantageous to do that at some point, get that up to 20, then I can have maximum amount of Estus when I'm doing the run back to the Taurus demon or the Capra demon. So why not have the most amount of Estus as possible? Come back. Take the dogs on our shield. Or let it. They also do poison build up. Now, another thing in this area is there are these assassins. Besides those dogs that just tried to rush me, there are assassins that come out of these side doors here. So when that one opens, multiple come out. don't have a lot of health, but they throw knives at you, and their swords have poison. The knives and the daggers have poison buildup damage. So once they open the doors, you can explore, and there is an item in this one. It's a sword called the Mail Breaker. It's like a little pointy thing that you stab with. Nothing in this one. See, it would be nice to have more Estus. And now you come back to this area, and there are more assassins that come out of these doors, and a dog. So more Estus, not for the boss, but, well, for the boss too, but in the area to get back to the boss. Now I'm going into the boss fight with 7 Estus. I think there's an item in... another dog. Where he came from. This one? Yeah. The set of the assassins that just tried to kill you. Basically, their whole outfit. Now, this is the boss right here. So, I'm probably not going to talk much when I get into the fight, but it's the Capra demon, and what's really annoying is I don't know what ailed them to come up with this layout of the fight, but you walk in and it's like this tiny little box of an enclosed space in the arena, and there's the Capra demon and 2 of those dogs that just rushed us and tried to kill us. There's 2 of them in the boss fight, so it's annoying. You'll see. I was saying that most of the bosses so far I've killed first try. This one is a crapshoot because you come in and there's 2 dogs running and trying to kill you and the demon. So I think I'm gonna switch it from this big, slow, heavy sword to the halberd. At least it's got a range, it's quicker. And see, I could use more Estus here. I gotta remember to come back to this. I mean, it will be so irrelevant by the time that we go to have the ability to do it, but it would be so useful at this point in the game, early on, if future self would go and do that, so that any other playthroughs, like right now, I could have already done it on my first run through, or New Game Plus. It could have up to 20 Estus. So I have to do that. I have to remember to do that. Hold me accountable. If I ever play this game again, any other future run-throughs on PlayStation, I would be so grateful to myself for doing that. That way I could just fuck around and waste all the Estus I want, kind of healing these enemies. So you can see the halberd does these quick little stab things, but it's got some range on it. And the charged attack is that like swirl thing. And then you can 2-hand it. You can do a slash and a swipe. So there's some range, and then the charged attack 2-handed is this lunge forward sideways slash. So I feel like this would be a good item for keeping those hounds at bay. And it's strong. Like, this is a Black Knight weapon. I've upgraded it max +5. You need Twinkling Titanites to upgrade Black Knight weapons, and you also have to farm them off of Black Knights. So those enemies that I was backstabbing before. I think you can parry these guys too. They're parryable. I want to try and parry him. Oh, I suck at parrying. There we go. I knew they were parryable. I thought I saw an item over here. I think there's one more dog that attacked me. No. Oh, yeah, so this way, you don't even have to fight the boss to come down here. This next area is the depths. There's also, on the left there's a shortcut back up to another area, and on the right is going farther down and exploring a new area, where that other guy we have to save is. But, so this is the dead end. I don't know what ailed them to put 2 dogs in with this boss to make it more annoying and put them in a tiny, tiny little space. So there, I came in, I somehow expected the dogs mentally to have already been rushing me, so I did a swipe, but the Capra demon was just charging up his attack, and so my swipe missed, and then he nailed me with his attack, and from that point on, I was unable to get set for the rest of it. Really? Dragon has chosen this opportunity to do a special flyover just for us. And now I've already wasted that Estus. So I already have less going in. Not that it matters. Once I kill the dogs, then the Capra demon's fucked. I got him. He's not hard. Every other boss, like I said, I've won first try, but it's only because he's in a tiny, small, little cramped space with a bunch of dogs. And this game is, you know, with agility, it's a little funky. Like I said, there's an input response for everything. But navigating a small, tiny box space with a bunch of dogs that are trying to kill you. Oh, these guys can also backstab you if you let them get behind you, and they will. And they can parry, too. He's trying to parry my attack there, because he can do the parry stagger thing that I did to that one earlier. See, I was going to wrap up my stream already by this point, but I was feeling ambitious, and I wanted to just sweep through and take the Capra demon out, too. But now it's taking a hot sec. Can you guys leave your little house? Oh, I went the wrong way. That's the backstab. We'll be lucky if we get out of this alive. So of course, I'm going to show my back to them more. Down to 5 Estus. Haven't even killed these guys yet, so I'm not at this point. I'll use another one. A kick? Really? That's not what I meant to do. But see, I can keep them at a distance, which is nice. Yeah, I'm going into the boss with 4 Estus. That's great. Hey, if I can get those dogs down, 4 Estus will be plenty to be so for real. Okay, so the dog this time did bum rush me, which is exactly what I was expecting the first time. Oh, killed the dogs somehow, and then immediately fucking... Hey. It's so annoying. I got lucky there killing the dogs too. I swung and got both of them. If I could have dodged that one attack, I could have reset, but it's such a small space So annoying. I mean, and for context, this boss here that we're fighting later on in the demon area is just like, is an enemy, like becomes, you know, some of the bosses in this game, like early on especially, you'll fight like a boss version of it, but then later on it's just like a normal enemy. Like maybe a little bit more of a difficult normal enemy, but there are several more Capra demons down in the demon place. As are there several more Taurus demons, which was the first boss. I don't think any more Asylum / Stray demon type enemies. Actually, that's a lie. There is one more. The demon fire stage boss, which is pretty much the same as the Stray demon, but on fire. I wonder if I should two-hand it for the dog. What is that? Yeah. Well, no, I was using my shield. Oh, I got 10 Estus now. I was using my shield. Down, boy. Alright, this is the most Estus I've had, I think. 9 Estus. Oh, fuck. Never mind. Let me get sapped. I can't even get sapped. I haven't touched the boss's health. All 3 or 4 times I've just died here, it's like you walk in and you get fucking assaulted. And that's it. That's the fight. And if you're lucky enough to get the dogs killed, then you still have to fight the boss and learn how to his moveset patterns and how to navigate in such a teeny it's just terrible boss design. I mean, maybe it's intentional to try and make your life miserable, but in my opinion, you know, there are lots of parts of this game that are clearly unfinished. A lot of people complain about, but this one is just like, back when this game was more relevant, it was like a notorious little tiny cramped fight, early game fight that's very difficult. It's the first boss here that's given me any sort of trouble, and it's a crapshoot each time. Like, I could go in, get lucky, kill the dogs, and then beat him on the first try, any given run through, or this could happen. And any attempt on him could result in me getting lucky and navigating the shit show and doing well, or not. And once I kill the dogs and get set, and it's just me one-on-one with the Capra demon, like, yes, I have skill enough to beat him easily. But that's not what this fight is. It's not just you versus Capra demon. It is you, Capra demon, tiny dogs, or small dogs, tiny space. It's like putting dynamite in a fish barrel. Remembered this time. And now I have 10 Estus. Now this is the most Estus I've had. Plus, I can't even see when I first entered the 5K. Like, my vision is limited until now. And by then, they've already attacked me. damn it. Why did I do this fight at the end of my stream? I literally was like, oh, Capra Demon, easy. Early game boss, easy. That's that one move. That is like the only move he could have done of all of his moveset that has a different tempo timing. He's got a big jump slam attack with his swords that he did to me when I first went in there. He's got a variation of up to 3 swings with his blade, and then that one where he grips with both hands and does that slow sweep around is the only one that goes on a different tempo, which I still should have done. Most I get use out of my shield. And I could just run through all this shit and try and run into the boss. Once you get to the front, tree. That's what I meant when I said Parish. Big jump attack. Yo. This is gonna keep repeating. I can't even get set. The moment I take a step back, he's gonna do the jump attack. See, it's too small to cramp the space. And the second you take a step back, he's going to do that attack. See, now I've got it. Fight something. That was it. That was it. All that stuff. Oh my god. I'm still fighting dogs. Get off my phone. This dog's unkillable. So we have the key to the depths. By beating this boss, now we can get down to the depths. So we could have gone down there anyway. We got the key. I'm gonna homeward bone. And we're gonna end the stream. Rest here. This is where we'll pick up next time. Thank you guys for joining me on the first stream for Dark Souls 1. I'm very excited for the rest of it and the next couple Dark Souls games. I hope you have a good night, and thank you for joining me for Bloodborne as well.